Hi guys, today we're going to be reading My Little Pony Legends of Magic Book 2. It's called Rockhoof and the Mighty Helm. This is strange, Princess Luna. Do you know the legend of Rockhoof? Oh yes, that was one of my favorite Sunburst. His perseverance is inspiring. Rockhoof was a pony so mighty that he dug a moat for a volcano to save his city, all with only the use of his shovel. Right, yes, that's a story I know too. Why do you ask this, good Sunburst? Well, he saves his town, joins the mighty helm, and lives happily ever after guarding the town. Indeed, it is a most satisfying ending. A lesson is learned, a hero proves themselves. Harmony is restored. Yeah, well, this is one of Star Swirl's books from his private library, and that's not what Star Swirl has written here at all. No? This story seems to begin after he joined the helm. Do you mean that Star Swirl the Bearded wrote a sequel to my favorite myth? It would seem so. In that case, we command you to read the myth at once. We command, huh? That is to say, I would very much appreciate if you shared this myth with me now. Oh, absolutely, Princess Luna. Just let me find my place here. Mighty Rockhoof had done the impossible and saved his town when the mighty helm could not. But that was not the end. Eee! Princess Luna? I mean to say, carry on, Sunburst. And though Rockhoof had once been laughed out of his trial for the mighty helm, the sworn protectors of his land, on that day he was their hero. The mighty helm carried Rockhoof throughout the town on their shoulders, and everywhere he was carried, the ponies streamed from their houses to come and see the pony who had saved their city from a volcano with nothing but a shovel. He was taken before the captain of the mighty helm, Stella Orr's daughter, to receive a reward. But when offered medals, jewels, even the key to the city, Rockhoof refused. There was only one thing he wanted. Name it, and it shall be yours. Captain, I wish only to be a guardsman of the mighty helm. Then so you shall be. Ponies, fetch us a helmet and sword for the brave soldier. Rockhoof, battler of lava and opponent of mountains, as captain of the mighty helm, I, Stella Orr's daughter, appoint you as the newest guard of the mighty helm. Do you swear to uphold the laws of these lands and protect these ponies with your life? So says I. Then wear you this helmet and take you this sword. Begging your pardon, ma'am, I'd keep me shovel if it's all the same to you. A shovel for a weapon. It is strange, but very well. Protect you this land with your shovel as long as you are able. Aye, ma'am. The next day, Rockhoof awoke early to get to training. It's time. After all, he was about to live his first day doing the thing he had wanted to as long as he could remember. He was determined to make a good impression, so he got dressed and ready and reported to the training grounds. Oh, this? Aye, this is the shovel that saved the town. Of course you can touch it, but be warned, it's still hot. Rockhoof was a bit nervous, so he talked to himself as he trotted through the dewy morning. He wanted to arrive a bit early. As it turned out, he arrived very early. Worry not, I'll prepare for training which stretches. Of course, when one rises early and sits afield alone for several hours, what nonsense is this? Rockhoof! Things do tend to happen. Sleepy things. Reporting for duty, ma'am. Not for another hour, you're not. I suggest you pull yourself together before then. And Rockhoof did just that. When the rest of the guard ponies arrived for training, he showed that what he had been training for. He proved on the obstacle course that he was as deft as any guard pony. And when it came time for combat practice, every pony was sure that Rockhoof's shovel would be his undoing. But Rockhoof stood up and faced his opponent as if there was no difference between their weapons. He disarmed his opponent and won the day. Where are you off to, Rockhoof? Home, friend. Must rest for the second day of training. Nonsense, Rockhoof. Come to dinner with us. We'd love to eat with the opponent of the mountains. Rockhoof had planned to eat the same healthy meal he'd prepared for years to join the helm and turn in early. Nay, friends, I must keep up with my routine. The tavern across the town has a massive oat bowl challenge. If you eat the whole bowl of oats, your meal is free. Come now, if you don't celebrate your first day in the mighty helm, when will you celebrate? Rockhoof had to think about this. They made good points. He had saved the town and achieved his dream. Surely that deserved a celebration. And he was passing up on the chance to be friendly with the ponies he'd always admired. Did you say challenge? Yay! And so Rockhoof took a day off. This was something he had not done since deciding to join the helm, and was long overdue. Chew, 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 chew. But Rockhoof, as is well known, loved challenges. Chew, 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 chew. And eating an entire bowl full of oats did seem like quite the challenge. And it was a challenge he was up to. All hail Rockhoof, enemy to volcanoes and oats. That was amazing, Rockhoof. Other than a bit of a stomachache, Rockhoof felt as good as he had ever felt. Tell them, Hoofy. It was all with one shovel, wasn't it? Aye, the same shovel I carry with me now. They say if you feel it, it's still a bit hot. Rockhoof was a member of the mighty helm, just like he had always wanted. Even better, they liked him. He had made it, and he was the hero of the town. The next morning when Rockhoof awoke, he did not feel quite as spry as he did the day before. Training! In fact, he felt like he had just eaten an entire bowl full of oats. Oof. Nice of you to join us, Rockhoof, but you're late. Sorry, Captain, rough morning. Won't happen again. See that it doesn't. And for what it's worth, Rockhoof meant it when he said it. And once he started training, he was still first in pack. That's our boy. There you go, Hoofy. And even though he wasn't quite as quick this time, he still won his training fight. Ha! Rockhoof knew he needed to go home and go back to his usual routine. Hoofy, come on, friend. We've got a table reserved at Colonel Corn's. And as much as he may have wanted to be friendly, he wanted to be a guard of the mighty helm more. But surely one more night of fun with his friends wouldn't affect that. And if one more night wouldn't hurt, surely two would be fine. Or the first week, after all, he had trained a lot longer than that. Or the first month. Sure, he may have slowed down a little. Perhaps he lost a race every now and then. But he had friends who really liked him. And what was the point of being successful if you didn't have anyone to share it with? Until one day the town suddenly had need of a hero again. That doesn't look good. It could be anything. It doesn't mean an eruption again for sure. I have a letter for Captain Steela. Over here. Do hereby request that the mighty helm here and its hero, Rockhoof, 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 Rockhoof. At your service, Captain. You don't look well, Rockhoof. Are you sick? No, ma'am. Just a bit of a long night's all. Are you fit to serve? Fit as a fork, ma'am. Well, the Baron thinks you're the hero to investigate the volcano. Pick 2 other guards and head up to see what's amiss. Yes, ma'am. Come on, boys. We got this. Hoofy, you really think we're the best choice? Right. You know we were out quite late last... Nonsense. Get your swords and let's go. To say that Rockhoof's friends were nervous would hardly do it justice. But Rockhoof marched to the base of the volcano, just as he had done the day of the eruption. Time to work, guard ponies. Rockhoof climbed for all he was worth. His friends, on the other hand, I don't know, that looks awful steep. Perhaps we should come back with proper climbing equipment. Took every chance to find a reason why they couldn't do the task they were given. The rocks seem awfully loose here. Yes, we should come back after the falling rock season is over. The further along they got, the more reasons they had. See, bats was the one thing I swore would keep me from finishing this quest. Right. Bats mean everything in the volcano is okay, though, right? Though, to be fair, they were not the only ones who caused delays. His time in the mighty helm has not been as rigorous as when he had trained to prove himself. Exhausted. Used to climb this every day. So tired. But in spite of everything, Rockhoof made it to the top of the volcano. Don't do it, Rockhoof. Don't go in. We'll just tell Captain Steele we didn't see anything and head back. Nay, we have a job to do and we're... What, in Equestria? Get down! We need to go down there and set this straight. No, we don't. I don't know about you, but I'm not fireproof. We're only here to investigate. We report back and let somebody else deal with... What was it anyway? Excuse me. Yeah, heard that. I need you to leave now. Right, then have it your way. That's no good. I'll be leaving now. You feel free to stay. Time to go. What happened? Yikes! My tail! And so this second adventure of Rockhoof was not quite so triumphant as the first, and that day Rockhoof learned the downside of being a member of the guard. You have to report to a captain when you fail. So, what you're telling me, hero of our town, is that I sent you up there to fix the situation. You found a sheriff, and you decided to make it worse? I'm afraid it is so. Look, since you joined the Mighty Helm, you've gone from being early to late. You've gone from being bold to lazy. You didn't even finish the last race. I meant to. It doesn't matter what you meant to do. We're in charge of protecting the ponies of this town. You're either in or out. I'm in. Don't tell me, hero. Prove it. I'll go back. No, you won't. Not until you're fit to fight. And if you can't get back in shape, I expect you to turn in your helmet. Rockhoof was devastated. How could this have happened? Rockhoof had fought to get where he was. He had devoted all of his time to it. He hadn't wanted anything else. Now he's on the edge of losing it all. But he wasn't going to let that happen. So he went back to his old routine. But it wasn't enough. He doubled it. He had achieved his dreams, and he had no one to blame for his failure but himself. So he would have to be the one to get it back. This is getting worse. I'm going to go deal with it myself. I'm coming too. Being part of the mighty helm is all I ever wanted to do. It's time I proved it. Well, let's go then. And with Stila as his companion, Rockhoof wasn't slowed down by excuses and whining. And since Rockhoof had gotten back in shape, Stila didn't have to wait for him to recuperate. And before you could say, "Cheer-off," there they were, back at the top of the mountain. Stand back, Captain. I'll take care of it this time. Hold. He's not attacking. Is this the same thing he was doing before? Aye, even the same spot. And you don't think that's odd? And Rockhoof looked at the creature, really seeing it for the first time. And what he saw was himself, one creature, doing one thing in hope of achieving a single goal. The fireballs were not aimed at them. They were bouncing off the ground, off one single spot. Halt, creature! And Rockhoof remembered something. He had forgotten. He hadn't gotten into the mighty helm by fighting or racing or doing obstacle courses. He got in because he had looked at a problem that dozens of ponies were already trying to solve. And he had seen a solution no one else had seen. Huh? Not only did the mountain answer the creature back, the voice that answered shook the ground, and then the tiny Cheer-off that had been trying to get home finally found its mother. So there you go, saving the town again. Huh. Of course, this time it turned out to be from a baby. Yep. And in the days that followed, Rockhoof would return to his old training routine and find that he was quite lonely. He would wish for his days of long nights with the other ground ponies. Wait just a minute. That cannot be the way the story ends. Rockhoof learned a lesson about the value of hard work. Hold on, there's more. Until one day, the captain invited him out to a team party. And since he could not say no to his captain, he agreed. And Rockhoof discovered that determination and hard work are important, but that he could set aside the time just for relaxation with friends. For all good things require work, but balance is the most valuable skill of all. Well, recognize what is special about yourself and practice balance. These are acceptable lessons. This was a good story. You may tell me another one sometime. Phew, that was intense. Maybe I'll read the next one to myself.